Hi everyone, my name is Jessica and this is my channel Plant Hooker. Now today we are going to talk about my Hypoestes, or polka dot plant, or Measle plant, or freckle face plant. Hypoestes are native to South Africa, Madagascar, and Southeast Asia. Mine I have had for about a year and a half. Well, this one a year and a half, this one a year. This one, I purchased this one, again, from the company The Plant Collective, which I don't recommend to buy. They no longer exist, even though their website is still operational. You can order from it, but you will not get your plants. And if you want to get your money back, you'll have to go through your credit card company. They are a flowering plant also, but they are also a very difficult plant. There's debate on whether or not these are monocarpic type plants. And what that means is that they'll live for years and years and years and years and years, but as soon as they flower, they die. And even though these are considered to be perennials, when these guys do flower, they'll make like a pinkish purple tiny little thing. Almost looks like a teeny tiny honeysuckle flower. It doesn't smell like honeysuckle flower. It actually really doesn't have much of a smell either when I do see it. He had flowered not that long ago. That's why he's kind of looking a little nimbly and stringy. They do need extremely high humidity to be happy. So I'll spray these guys about twice a week, sometimes 3, just to keep them like looking lovely like this. Normally when you do see them like on Instagram and whatnot, they're these big bushes. And that is due to the dedication that their owners have put into them. Because they do need regular pruning to keep them happy. And Ziva's coming to say hi, of course. And I do find that the ones that I bought from big box stores, like the polka dot, which is the pink one, and I've also had the freckle face, which is like the white version, they don't do as well as those from big box stores. Like I bought this one from my local co-op, and even though it's short and the leaves tend to be a tiny bit smaller, it's nowhere near as fussy as this guy is. So, and I do find that this one here, after it flowers, will bounce back way faster than this one. Like this one, I've made so many clippings, and the clippings last so long, and then they're like, oh, we're done, and then they die. And when it comes to propagating these guys, you have to make sure that, like, you wouldn't cut way down here. No, you would cut here, and then remove the 2 bottom leaves, and then just place in water for about a week. But there's more to it than that. You can do that all you want, and then a day or 2 later, it will be wilted, and it will look terrible. What I have to do to ensure that they, once I propagate them and to make them survive and whatnot, I'll make a cup of tea. And then whatever leftover boiling water I have, I'll put that in a cup, and I put that in my cabinet with all my other propagations. And it raises the humidity, it keeps their clippings happy, and then, but mind you, I have to make sure I do it every day to ensure I get more of these clippings. I water them, at this time of year, I'll water them about roughly every 8 days or more. And it all depends, again, on how much I have my heat on or how much I have my wood stove on. Because again, these guys they love their humidity. So a house that wouldn't have a wood stove, excuse me, you probably wouldn't have to miss these guys as much as I do to keep them happy. And when you do water them, you want to make sure that on a moisture meter level, they are at about a 6 or less. Any more, I would wait a day or two. Now, the type of soil I have them in, this guy, he is in all-purpose, and this one I have in the, it's all-purpose as well, but I have extra perlite and pumice in him. He doesn't have that, so that is also possibly another reason why he is more happy. I have up-potted them a couple of times because both of them did start out in 4-inch pots, and then I moved them to 5s and then up to 6s now. Their root systems they're very fine roots, like they don't have rhizomes or anything like a spider plant does or whatnot, and they will, so if you do forget to water them, they will grow down and seek out water. And you can grow these in non-drainage, but you have to be very careful on the watering to make sure that you don't overwater them. As much as they like moist soil, they don't like their feet wet, so to speak. So you can't overwater these guys, because I did that with the white freckle face of the Hypoestes, and it had gone down to, I managed to save it and get it down to 1 branch, like my polka dot is right now. And then my 7-year-old decided to go, oh, look how pretty it is. And then brought it to me and, Mommy, look how pretty it is. And killed it. So, not on purpose, but he was trying. But the type of soil that they do prefer and like most is the tropical plant soil and cocoa. I've heard peat, but I would stick more to cocoa because it's more sustainable than peat moss. I fertilize them about once a month. And you can use the all-purpose fertilizer or the green plant food. Do not use the flowering fertilizer, even though they do flower. Again, because the argument is that they are monocarpic, don't use the flowering food if you want them to survive. You can put them outside, but only between July and August because they don't like cold. I've never put these guys outside, mostly because the wind we get here is quite high. But they can survive outside if your hardiness zone is 10A or more, which I don't think there's any place like that in Canada. Maybe over in Vancouver. I do remove the flowers from this guy because I do find that with him, he just does not seem to be able to bounce back from flowering at all. The red one, I do let him flower because I find that with him, when he flowers, he will actually start to produce other stems and will actually come back. I've given up my attempt at trying to make a bushier plant version of these guys, and I've just decided to let them go at their own place if they decide to turn into a vine and start hanging down, because I do have these guys hanging in a south-facing window, but kind of to the left, so they don't get direct sunlight, but they do get that bright light. But they're also in a room where there's a grow light, and they do get some light from that. I don't know if they like it or not. I know my Croton does, because they're in the same room as he is. So I've decided to just let these guys do their thing, be vines, and sorry, that's my clock. I have a bird clock. And Just let them do their thing. Now, when it comes to pests, the only pests I've had with these guys was aphids. And I didn't know they could get aphids. I knew they could get spider mites, thrisp, and fungus gnats, or fruit flies, or whichever. Because I've battled spider mites. I'm in an ongoing battle with thrisp on everything that's down here. But they don't seem to come and bother these guys. No, the aphids tend to have stuck to the soil. And I just had to put a teaspoon of hydrogen peroxide in a liter of water for, I think it was a month. And then they just stopped and went away. I had no problems with them after that. Yeah. Do I recommend them for first-time plant owners? No. No, not in the least. These guys have got to be thorns in my side. Well, him more so than him. That's why he's down to just the one stem, and I'm just letting him do his thing. He'll grow however he wants. If he lives, he lives. He doesn't, he doesn't. Will I get more Hypoestes if these two decide to croak? No. No. Beautiful plant. If you have a high humidity house and patience, the knowledge on how to prune, when to prune. Like I do have a good idea on when to prune somewhat, especially when I see they're about to flower, and then it's like, oh, we're done. And to try and save them and make them come back. I haven't been quite that successful with it. Him more so than him. The ideal temperature for these guys is between 18 and 25 degrees Celsius. So that's why with my wood stove, I have to spray them more often. And I think that's about it for these guys. And considering you can kind of see him in the background, this is my big guy, Apollo. Yeah, I rescued him 4 years ago now. Yeah. He's one of the bad cats. He will pee in my plants. He actually killed a Taiwanese orchid on me. I wasn't that hurt. It was given to me by an ex. So I was like, oh, wasn't meant to be. But, no, I think that's about it when it comes to the Hypoestes. It's still a beautiful plant. Like some of the ones that I've seen on Instagram are absolutely gorgeous. Mine, not so much. They're cute. They're cute in their own happy-go-lucky way. And I can currently hear my dog Angus wanting to come in, so I'm going to end this here. Thank you for watching. Like this video, subscribe if you like, and live long, plant on.